Hi, I'm Reed Spears, and this is an introduction to building three-dimensional models. The purpose of the project was to build three-dimensional models of some simple covalent bonds molecules. We must predict their shapes and polarities from knowledge of bonds and molecule polarity rules. There are three different steps in the procedure. First, you must obtain a molecular model building set. Study the color code identifying the three different kinds of atoms. Second, you must observe that the following atoms have one hole: hydrogen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. The atoms with two holes are oxygen and sulfur. Nitrogen has three holes and carbon has four holes. Lastly, you must construct models of the following H2, H2O, CH4, Cl2, NH3, HF, C2H2, CH2Cl2, N2, CO2, CH3OH, H2O2, O2, and H2S. Thank you for listening. This was Reed Spears with Building Three-Dimensional Models.
This is Caroline, and I'm going to talk about the molecules we made. This molecule is H2. It is nonpolar and linear. This model is H2O. It is polar and bent. This model is CH4. It is nonpolar and tetrahedral. This model is Cl2. It is nonpolar and linear. This model is NH3. It is polar and pyramidal. This model is HF. It is polar and linear. This model is C2H2. It is nonpolar and linear. This model is CH2Cl2. It is polar and tetrahedral. This model is N2. It is nonpolar and linear. This model is CO2. It is nonpolar and linear. This model is CH3OH. It is polar and tetrahedral. This model is H2O2. It is polar and bent. This model is O2. It is nonpolar and linear. This model is H2S. It is polar and bent.
Hi, I'm Christian Wardarski, and I'm wrapping up the lab that me, Caroline, and Reed did together. Alright, so for all the molecules that we tested, the ones that were linear were H2, Cl2, C2H2, HF, N2, CO2, and O2. The molecules that were bent were H2O, H2O2, H2S. The ones that had the pyramidal shape were just NH3. The tetrahedral shaped molecules were CH4, CH2Cl2, CH3, and OH. Each of these molecules were also polar or nonpolar. The polar molecules were H2O, NH3, HF, CH2Cl2, CH3OH, H2O2, and H2S. The nonpolar molecules were H2, CH4, Cl2, C2H2, N2, CO2, and O2. Two shapes that appeared to produce polar molecules were bent and tetrahedral. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.